I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. What is going on? Well, I am out in the park, as you can see, just hanging out here. It's a beautiful, hot, hazy day in New York. So you're either by the water or you're in the park. So that is where I am. And I just was like, oh, what is going on with our faves? Well, I know they are silent right now, and which is fine, which is totally fine. They are being totally silent. I know I was very disappointed in the fact that Meghan was supposed to do her event tomorrow, but it was postponed because of all the goings on that's happening in LA right now with the protests and with ICE raids and all of the craziness courtesy of our the people, the crazies in the White House. And so lots and lots of crazy stuff is happening. And so our faves, and I hope Meghan doesn't feel really discouraged because I feel like it's just like everything she does, there's something comes up that she has to cancel or postpone. And it just she had to delay with Love Megan because of the fires in LA. And now this event is postponed, where she was supposed to be honored by the LA museums tomorrow. And that is postponed because of the protests in LA. And when during her first podcast, Archetypes, she did like 4 episodes and then she had to postpone the rest of them because Queen Betty passed. And so it just like, I'm like, I hope Megan doesn't feel really discouraged. I know it could be, it could feel a little bit discouraging when every time she's doing something, something happens where she has to cancel or postpone or some craziness. And so I'm gonna just switch my thing. I think a bunch of kids are doing a little tour in the park. So let's just give them their privacy over there. And yeah, so yeah, I just hope that she doesn't feel too discouraged. And so yeah, but I was just like, oh, I was looking forward to seeing her and to seeing Harry tomorrow, but that's okay. It's a good call by the museum to postpone the event because serious things are going on in LA right now and indeed the whole country. So it was fine, but I just feel like Megan probably feel like, okay, I don't want to do anything else because something is gonna happen where I have to postpone it. And but with some challenges, God did not give us more than we can handle, so He knows she can handle this. So yes, but hello everyone joining in on the chat. Hello Jacqueline and Shirley and VC. How are you guys doing? Hope you're well, and to our 40 friends who are just listening and not necessarily in the chat. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me on my impromptu podcast in the park. I'm just sitting here, just had some lunch, and wanted to chat all things our faves. So, yes, but again, they have been silent ever since coming back from, or at least going home from Disney. And the press has not I don't think they'll get over Megan's video and that trip to Disney because there's so many storylines I see, and it's just like, people, it was just a video. It was just the trip to Disney that millions of Americans and people around, oh, sorry, millions of Americans and people around the world do every single year. It is not that big a deal. It really isn't. And of course, the British press is like, oh my gosh, that trip cost an eye-watering amount. And I was like, yeah, your version of eye-watering and what it actually is are two very, very different things. So yes, no. Millions of Americans do that all the time, whether they had a private trip or not. Millions of Americans do that all the time. It's not a big deal. So untwist your knickers, British people. Let go of the pearls. It is fine. Oh my goodness. Hello, Elsa and Compton Caligal. How are you guys doing? And Veronica. Hello. Uh, yeah. So, but who knows what they'll do, maybe they'll just not do anything for the weekend, because we know that in the UK, the Trooping of the Colors is tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, Trooping of the Colors is tomorrow. So they'll probably just stay silent and let them their trooping be as boring as it normally is, including the very boring balcony. So I don't expect to see the Sussexes, but if I do, don't be surprised. And if we don't be surprised. But I could see how them not wanting to, and again, even though I'm disappointed, because I really wanted to see Meghan and Harry tomorrow, but I'm actually kind of happy as well, because I was like, okay, well, when they do their thing, they don't have to share, or not that the royals could overshadow them in any way, but they don't have that trooping of the color nonsense as part of the narrative, and so I'm very happy about that. Even though I still wanted to see them, but yeah, so we don't know when exactly that is going to be rescheduled to, but I guess whenever it becomes peaceful again. Well, the protests have not been, they've, well, let's just say those in the White House decided to disrupt peaceful protests and make everything worse, because I guess they have nothing else to do with their day. So so whenever things calm down in LA, I'm assuming then we will be out there. Wait, today's Friday the 13th? Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that. Thank you, Elsa. That's right. Today is the 13th. I didn't even put two and two together. Oh my goodness. Lord, yep, yes, be careful out there. It's Friday the 13th. Dramas can happen. What else is happening? Well, William and Kate are doing. Oh, it's so funny. It's every time I turn around, seem to they seem to have a new project, and it's just nothing ever comes of the ones that they already have, and they just keep doing new projects and new projects, or adding new uh, things to whatever it is they're supposed to be doing, and you literally get no, like, there are no tangible results from whatever it is that they're doing. Like, who knows what the people who won Earthshot has been doing? No one. No one even know what they do, because the whole thing with Earthshot is not about those people. It's about William, and so nobody really knows what these people do. The only thing I have ever known is that one of them used, I think, seaweed to make boxes, for like for food boxes. So they were able, I think they sort of have a contract with one of those football stadiums. So when they're serving food, instead of serving it in plastic or whatever, they use this sustainable container, not containers, but boxes for food, which actually is a good thing. The organizations and the people who are doing these things, they are doing a good job. But again, Earthshot is really not about them. It's all about William, and how William could embiggen himself. And so he is doing this other project about something, something, something. I couldn't care less to find out what it is. But again, last week it was saving the ocean, and this time it was something about something. And Kate's early years thing that nothing ever comes out of, they're doing another thing about mental health, I guess, to have the charities that she works with. They are doing a mental health thing, and so she, of course, jumps in, and it says that they are funding it, and so, and it's all about, understanding children from 0 to 5's mental health. And I'm like, when this whole thing started with um, her kids' projects, one of the things that came out, one of the things that came out of it was people who are in that space were very, very specific about what is needed in that space. They're like, we already have the data. We know what the deal is. We know about, that all of the things that is needed to make sure kids 0 to 5 are thriving, and they're surviving, not just, again, like Meghan, not just surviving, but thriving. Number one is money, funding these organizations that are closing, and not going in and trying to pretend like you're rewriting the whole wheel when that's not necessary. The people who are in that space already know what is up. They've already done the research. They already have the data. You don't have to reinvent any wheel. All that is needed is money. Fund the programs that are already there. And that is the thing that they're not doing, because Kate has to feel like she's doing some busy work, and she has to feel like she's doing something about something that nothing comes out of, and she keeps jumping for one thing, and it's just like always, we're going to do this new thing, and we're going to do this new thing, and they can't show any tangible results. And whatever results or things that is attached to it, that's results, they tend to just sort of put their name on it and claim it as theirs. As in, I think I think there's some kind of paid leave or something like that that they now have. And so because Kate had spoken to some of those companies about something completely different, and because then I think the government is now doing that, her foundation has now put its name in. Basically, they're claiming that is because of her that this organization, that this stuff, this funding, I guess, is happening, which it totally isn't. But it's just unbelievable. But so she is doing something about mental health, and it's just like, girl, it's like William and the Ocean. You are not the person to be talking about this. You are a mean girl, Karen. You're not the person, you know. But anyway, so that's what they're doing over there. William is still behaving like King Charles is about to kick the bucket anytime soon. As I said with Queen Betty, King Charles better hide those pillows, because they are definitely jonesing for him to pass on to the other the other side. Because it's just like, geez, dude, you don't have to be so anxious to, be king, because if you're king, that means your own father is not here. And so he is like, King Charles, you better hide those pillows. So, anyways, unbelievable. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. I'm not saying anybody's gonna do anything, but it's just too anxious to take over from King Charles. So, anyways, uh, what else is happening? Yes, I know about that Brooke Shields drama. I'm telling you, these Karens are, I promise I wouldn't say that, because we have Karens in here. Actually, not their description Karen, but actual people who are named Karen. And I apologize, because I did say I was not going to say that anymore, use that name anymore. So I apologize. But people like Brooke Shields or the Meghan McCains of the world, and there's this other girl who used to hate Meghan, and she used to say all these nasty things about her. And then all of a sudden, she hit up on the idea that she can, whatever Meghan wears, or she could post links and make money off of it. And she became the biggest Meghan fan because she could post links and make money off of Meghan's clothes. Well, now that Meghan has her own links and she has the Shop My page on Instagram, don't know what this girl is doing. I don't know if she still is the supposed ardent supporter of Meghan anymore, because now, she now can't be making the money anymore. But people like this they would sit there and they would swear to you that they are allies, that they support, and it's just like, nope. They support you, quote unquote, support you to a point where if a black and brown person does not go ahead of them, or is more successful or more powerful than them, if they're what they consider beneath them, oh, they're fine, and they would be your ally all day, because they still have, quote unquote, power over you. But the minute you have either power, position, money above them, you will see their true nature come out. And it's just same thing with Brooke Shields. I mean, the girl, why nobody? I mean, one, this child is not relevant. I'm like, girl, you haven't been relevant since the 90s. What are you doing? And I guess that's the point, right? She's trying to be, and she has learned, like all of the other hateful people that if you attack Meghan, that you will have people, following you. You're gonna have followers. You're gonna have news outlets talking about you. I mean, your name is gonna be in the press like it's never been in like forever. And so they are out now learn that attacking her would give them fame, and in her case, fame again. And so, I mean, it just I saw the clip that people have put out with her and India Hicks, and I'm like, oh, you didn't. I think I heard of the name India Hicks years ago. Don't really know anything about her other than she's the queen. I'm sorry, the king's goddaughter, and like how I would love to know how that whole conversation even came up, and for Brooke to completely misrepresent what that whole the South by Southwest event was about, and that's to tell you. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, this is a women International Women's Day event. The fact that you would take to would do this and say these things and even have that thinking at an International Women's Day event where you feel like it's okay to um, really shut down a black and brown person, to center yourself as most of these women do, it's unbelievable to me. And so I wasn't surprised when I heard and that they took the article down. I'm not surprised because whatever clout they thought they were getting, that just went out the window, because I guess neither of them, and again, they're in their own bubble. They don't really think of microaggressions. They don't really understand, not really, not that they don't understand, they don't really care. They get to center themselves and they just assume the world just has to live with it. And I guess they didn't really count on people just really going after them and really calling them out for this. It's just, and again, look, if you're a black and brown person, this is what we have to deal with on the daily. Some form of microaggression, some form of belittling, or people putting you down, or deciding that what you have to say is not important enough, so they have to center themselves. And it's unbelievable to me. But that's how we face this stuff all the time, all the time. It is unbelievable. So I didn't have Brooke Shields being this mean girl on my bingo card for 2025, but here we are. Guess I didn't have a lot of people as mean girl bullies. And so, again, I haven't thought about Brooke Shields in such a long time. Like, oh, right, she's still there. And so, yes, but I would not go and click on anything with them. I'm not going, because, again, this is the point, right? We all talk about it. We all, basically people go after them and whether it's their social media pages and all of that stuff. But what that does, even though it's the vent frustration and or anger, or just really put her in her place in a lot of ways, they are rewarded because we're just adding to their fame. We're just adding to their likes, and we're adding to their view count. And basically, they are making money off of the outrage that people feel about what they do. And so, yeah, it is a sad thing, but that's how it is. So we have to pick and choose the things that we engage in. I would not engage in anything, or even click on an article to see any of the details of all of this, because I mean, I get the gist. But yeah, it's like rewarding bad behavior, and I'm just not going to do that. So, yeah. Uh, Pens and cases, the poor Trump back to Europe. It just, yeah, it's crazy. It is really, really crazy. I know there are protests as well in New York. So, yeah. Gwen says, yeah, Brooke Shields showed her true colors. I'm telling you, she really, really showed her true colors. And again, I hadn't thought about Brooke Shields in years, but and I actually met her years and years and years and years ago, when I was working in a gym. She was a member of the gym, and so she was very, very sweet, a very nice person that I saw. That's the only time I ever met her. So, yeah, and so that was my only in person, you know, impression of her. And again, I hadn't thought of her in such a long time, so I didn't know to think anything of her. But yeah, she really just showed her colors there. And let's see. Bruce gives us a scripture, says Galatians 6:9, and let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Ooh, very nice scripture. Thank you, Bruce. That is very, very, very true. So let's continue sowing kindness and goodness, and and not letting people who don't do that take us down or any of those things. It's just very, very, very interesting. Um, so yeah, again, I'm not surprised that they took that video down, because neither of them look good. Neither of these two women look good. And again, in that same age bracket, that oh, as they call middle-aged palm color people. This is it's it just is unreal. It's unbelievable to see it. So yeah. David Beckham has sucked up to royally enough, and so now he's going to get his knighthood. I guess enough people have shamed King Charles into giving David Beckham what he's always wanted, where he has basically uh, I mean, the guy has been just kissing the feet of royals for how long now to get this knighthood? And so now he's going to get his knighthood either today or tomorrow, actually, he's getting it. And so, yes, he's finally going to be, I think he's now Sir David Beckham. I think that's what he's going to be called. So, yeah, but it's very, very interesting. I'm like, I will never understand grown men putting themselves through what David Beckham and Idris Elba do with King Charles. With King Charles, it's like, dude, have some self-respect, please. Have some self-respect. But they both have been sucking up and sucking up and sucking up. So yeah, that's where they are with that. So yeah, so David Beckham is going to be Sir David Beckham. So yes. Uh, oh, the last podcast, I forgot to say congratulations to Coco Gauff, who won the French Open. And again, it's so weird with women and the microaggressions. We just talking about Brooke Shields on that panel with Meghan, and all her insecurities and all her "I need to one up you because I'm better than you." It's the same thing in tennis. We have Coco Gauff just won the French Open, did a great job. Yes, she and Aryna Sabalenka, who was her opponent in that, they were both playing in windy, difficult conditions. Coco didn't have it any better than she did. Coco just played better than she did, just like she did in 2023 at the U.S. Open when Coco beat her there as well. And this girl proceeded to claim that Coco won not because she played well, but because she, the loser girl, made 70 unforced errors. Yeah, she did make all those errors, but I think Coco had a lot to do with her making those errors, because Coco was relentless in her defense and make her hit one more ball, which, she made errors on. And so, yeah, and so that was her thing. It's like she basically said, and I know she actually, not basically, she actually said that, Coco won not because she played great, but only because she made all these unforced errors. And then she went on to say that if the woman, Iga Swiatek, that she beat in the semifinals, if Iga had won that game, she would have beaten Coco in the finals. And I'm like, are you serious? Never mind the last two times. Oh, I think the last three times Coco played Iga Swiatek, Coco dusted her in straight sets. So I think the last two were straight sets. I think the last one was 6-1, 6-1. And all it is just to not give Coco her due, that she was better than her. And this girl before that, she always used to appear like she liked Coco. They seem to be very, they may not be best friends, but they seem to be very cordial to each other, very pleasant, very respectful. And all of a sudden she got beat again by Coco, and all of that microaggressions come right out. It is just like unbelievable. And again, this girl is number one in the world. And all of a sudden, she's number one in the world. Coco is number two, and Coco is beating her, and she just could not stand it. She could not stand it that this black brown girl is, and I mean, it just, again, it's the same patterns, same exact patterns. Unbelievable. But I'm glad Coco has home training, so Coco did not engage in any of that, and she is enjoying her French Open win with the tiniest trophies. I just don't even understand. I don't know if you guys, listen to tennis or watch tennis, but when they win the tournament, they have this beautiful, huge cup that they take all the pictures with. But what they are given to take home is this tiny replica that looks. I think Coco did a video of it, comparing it to a bottle of water. The thing is this tiny, tiny, embarrassingly tiny trophy that they give them to carry home. And I was like, Coco, please don't be showing that to the world. That is just embarrassing. I was just like, you mean to tell me those Grand Slams can't afford Wimbledon? So I will definitely be hearing me. I think my signal just cut out there for a minute. Yeah, so I'll be definitely tuning in to Shutter Island for Wimbledon. So yeah. Gwen says David Beckham's lips should be tired. Yeah, he's been kissing and kissing those feet for a long time. I'm telling you, the things you have to do to get a knighthood, my word. And the thing about David Beckham that I don't understand, this guy has accomplished so much. He has accomplished so much and is accomplishing so much. I don't understand why he has been groveling to a bunch of people that has literally accomplished much of nothing. And whatever they accomplish is because they've had so much advantage and such a head start over everybody else. I'm like, dude, they should be bowing to you, not the other way around. I don't understand that at all. And again, British people and their relationship to the royal family, I just don't understand it. I'm like, you're so much better than them. Why are you bowing to them? So, anyways, Gwen says the white man couldn't stand back that if the white woman couldn't stand it, the black woman beat her. That's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. And to claim that Coco, who's now won her second Grand Slam, would not have beaten the now number 7 player in the world that Coco has beat the last 3 times that she's played her. I'm telling you, that's just that's a level of meanness that I'm like, girl, you're the number one player in the world. You should at least have some training, some media training. I know she said, well, I just was trying to be honest. Well, yeah, there's honest, and then there is you are number one in the world. That carries some responsibility. There are young tennis players coming up, and there are young kids coming up, and what you say matter as number one in the world. That carries a lot of influence, and so she not only have to take a hold of her tongue, but she has to take a hold of her mentality and really get some training. Some, literally, whether it's home training, some racial training, some everything training, diversity training. The WTA needs to put that in place. Because Coco should not, in the year 2025, Coco should not be having to face this nonsense. This is craziness. So I'm going to call on the WTA to do something about this. So, yeah. Gwen says some of the sports announcers were just as bad. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it, though, even with Coco is when Coco, compared to what they did to Venus and Serena, Coco has it good because they went to town on Venus and Serena. They faced so much harsh racist behavior in so many ways, from whether it's other players, whether it's people in the stands. I remember there's this tournament I think it's in California, that the Williamses boycotted that for years because of the racist behavior of the fans in the stands towards them. And so, yeah, so compared, Coco has it good because the majority of the people love Coco. She's such a great girl. But still, there's racism. So yeah, absolutely racism. So Gwen says, but I absolutely agree that they will call the N word daily. I'm telling you, you should see some of the posts that they did on Serena, the caricatures, and she wasn't, Serena is Serena. She was blunt, she was honest, she did not play the nice person who would just always smile and it's like, oh, I don't want to be upsetting, and oh, I don't want to be called the angry black woman, so I always have to put a smile on my face. Serena was, when she was on, especially when she's on court, she's like, she's all business, she's not here for any of that stuff. So she's gotten into some scrapes because of situations on the court, and whether it's fair or not. So Coco is just a different breed. She is very calm, very collected in a lot of ways. But yeah, Venus and Serena, especially Serena, did not have it good at all. So yeah, so Coco is basically, so Venus, and as they say, Venus and Serena walk so Coco could get on their shoulders and run. So yeah, people are definitely calling out more the racist behavior and the negativity from whether it's in the booth or in the stands or the fellow players. They're definitely a little more on top of that. So yeah. Um, let's see what else is happening. I'm just scrolling through the chat. Hello, Cookies and Cream and Connie Bama. How are you guys doing? Mad World. Hello, guys. Thank you for joining me in the park. I think most of my live are going to be either by the park or some park or another, or the water, because it's just more fun to sit in the park. It is summer. Nobody wants to be on the inside. And it's just nice to be outside among the trees and water, even though, as you can see over there, the water has a lot of moss in it. So yeah, very, very cool. uh, Back to our faves. I i am looking forward to whenever Meghan decide to drop, as ever. I don't know, with the stuff going on in LA, if she's going to go ahead with whatever date. And at this moment, I'm actually kind of glad that she didn't give a date, just in case stuff, prolong in California. And so, whatever day that they plan to drop it, I hope all of the stuff that's going on in LA is going to be died down. And if it doesn't, and she decides to go ahead, go right ahead. Meghan shouldn't always be the one to have to postpone her things. Many people in LA have not postponed anything to honor anything. And so I just hope, if she choose to drop her the next part of As Ever before the LA situation clears up, I hope, I hope she goes ahead and does it. So yeah. But yes. So I think that's it. I don't know. I don't know what else is going on with them other than that they are very silent right now. Oh, I was watching a podcast the other day. Oh, yesterday actually. I saw one of those Squatty podcasts, and they mentioned about Sophie Chanduka and Sentibali, and it just, like, my heart dropped. I was just like, Sentibali is out there begging for money and to fund their programs, and which is very weird, and which is what the Squatty was saying as well, because when Sophie Chanduka did that crazy lying interview that she did, she was very, very clear: one, that Harry wasn't needed because his brand is toxic, and two, Santibali would be perfectly fine without Harry. And I'm assuming they had some, you know, pledges that to fund their programs, but maybe that didn't come true because Santibali is out there now trying to recruit donors for these programs. And so, of course, many squatties, I'm not an ex, so I've I could only imagine what they were saying in those posts back to them, but people are not having it. They're like, nah, you get rid of Sophie Chanduka and then we will send money, but we're not sending you 1 cent. And it's very interesting to me that the leadership of Santa Bali have just stayed silent. They have, not, as far as I know, not asked her to quit or any of those things. And it just, I'm telling you, and then the charity commission is taking forever. They are taking forever to finish the review and to post their findings. It's incredible how long this thing is taking. But I guess, they're trying to be thorough. But I'm like, can you hurry up already? We want to see this. We want to know. And yeah, but my prayer is that Harry gets his charity back. That sent Sophie Chanduka could be sent packing. So, but it's weird, and apparently they turned off their comments in X. Well, of course they did because they know what would happen if they hadn't turned off that comment. So, who knows if people have donated? I'm sure there are people on her side that have donated to it, but as far as I know, squatties are taking a pass. So yeah, uh, but it just it. Ah, yes, Santibali, how far you fallen? But again, she said that they would be perfectly fine without Harry's toxic brand. So we'll see. We will see. So yes, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Hope you guys are having a great day again wherever you are. And just this is my view in the park. A sitting tree sitting. Oh, my camera just keeps shaking and shaking and shaking. I'm so sorry. And so this is my view in the park among the trees. It just makes me very calm when I'm among the trees. So that's why I'm always in the park. It's just really beautiful for mental health and mental well-being. So yes. But anyway, guys, I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you are, wherever you are doing fantastic. And I will chat with you next time. And hopefully we see our faves over the weekend. That would be awesome. Anyway, guys, I love you all. Have a great day, and I'll chat with you next time. Bye.